Will Jamie Walker be back involved this weekend?
Jamie Walker won't be, because I haven't forgiven him for Ross County for missing that penalty last year, so he won't be in the squad. He obviously cost me 3 points at Ross County last year, so it's something I won't be having him in the squad.
What's the problem with
Jamie? Jamie, I had a chat with him yesterday. Look, it's obviously it's complicated with Jamie. He's obviously, well, it's not really complicated, to be honest. It's an issue where a club have made an offer for him. It's kind of turned his head a bit. He's mentally not in the right place. And the conversation I had with him yesterday was that for myself, for Foxy, for Austin, for the players, for the squad, for the team, for the fans, we need everybody on board at the minute, and everyone in the right place mentally, and everyone pulling in the same direction. And Jamie, at the minute, he's a little bit off where he needs to be, fitness-wise, in terms of mentality-wise. So the conversation I had with him was that we'll leave him out this weekend, with the view to hopefully giving him a few days to try and get his head right, and hopefully, if I'm still in charge next week and he's still here, playing him next week, or getting him back involved next week, because Jamie has to understand that Rangers is one club. There's a million other one clubs in the world that would love a Jamie Walker. If I was the manager of another club, I'd sign Jamie Walker for £1 million, no problem, because on his day he's the best at the club, and for me, he'd play in any other SPL team.
You said if he's here next week, do you think there's a decent chance he could be arranged next week? Again,
that's conversations you need to have with people that are higher than me. I don't know the ins and outs of the dealings or where we're at, but from what I've obviously read and what I've seen, we're a long way off from the club's valuation. The club have obviously put a lot of work into Jamie. He's been here a long time. He's valued from myself, from all the coaching staff, from everyone above us, from his teammates, from the fans. So, look, if someone comes in for £1 million or whatever valuation the club have him, then I'd imagine he'll go, because he's coming to the last year of his contract, and that's the situation. But if he doesn't, then he's going to find himself still here at the end of the window. And for whoever is in charge, for me, that's a good thing if he's still here.
Did Jamie accept that decision quite happily?
Well, the chat I had yesterday was quite positive. So whatever happens with him, happens with him. If someone comes in and bids the money that's we're looking for, then I'd imagine he'll go. But as I said to Jamie yesterday, he can't put all his eggs in one basket with one club. There's other clubs throughout the country, throughout the UK, that if he got touted in the right way by his agent, then he'd probably get a good opportunity to go and play down south.
Get back to your own situation, John. Have you spoken to Craig Levine and told him you think you're ready for this job?
No, the chat I had with Craig was just simply, Ian's obviously away, and in the interim you're going to take charge with the support of Austin and Foxy. So look, I'm quite happy with that, and look, whatever happens. If we do well and we get a response, then as we all know, it's an opportunity that it puts thoughts into the owners' heads, and but if not, if things don't go well, then it's just what's happening at the minute. So,
but you want the job?
I want to work for Hearts. Regardless of where it's at. I'm quite happy at 20s level for now. But if the first team opportunity happens to be offered, then I'd love the opportunity. I'll probably retire if I won at Celtic Park. Yeah, no, of course. I hope that I've got a long career in coaching and management, and I've been in the game for 20-21 years now, and the majority of that as a player. So I've got nearly 2 years experience of coaching, and I've really enjoyed that time. I've learned a lot. As I said, I'm at a good club where it's structured in a way that the coaches can learn and they can help each other, and so as I said, I'm really happy. I think I'm in the right place for myself, for my own development, as are the other younger coaches. So it's something that I'm really happy to be here, as I said.
If it's not yourself, John, what is the perfect fit? What's required What is the attribute does the head coach require to make this club successful?
Look, every head coach, every manager has different attributes and different qualities that they bring, and you know what works for one doesn't necessarily work for another. So that's a question that, you know, I don't know the answer to that one.
Does he need a more experienced manager at the moment?
I don't know. Again, I don't know. Like, you bring in a more experienced manager and that might not work. So everyone thought that Ian was the right answer after Robbie, and that didn't work. So look, we don't know. That's obviously. I'm just glad I'm not having to make that decision. It's obviously the powers that be will look after that and obviously make the decision.
John, some people question Craig Leveing's influence in the team. How fair do you think that is?
Well, look, if Craig had any influence in the team and he picked the team, he would surely pick the team himself and he'd give himself the job. So, for me, as a younger coach, I think it's invaluable having someone like Craig at the club. It really is. I think, you know, the knowledge, the experience he has in the game, that for me, since I've come in, he's always been a sounding board. That if I have any issues or I have any problems or I have any questions regarding certain things or certain tactics or whatever, I think that might help, or any things that he might be able to give me that I think are good ideas, then I'd be silly not to talk to him.
What level of input do you expect from him to help you ahead of Saturday?
I'd imagine he's probably got a lot on his plate at the minute, so he's kind of just said to me that just go and do what I want to do. So we'll go and pick the team that we feel. You know, I'll speak to Austin, I'll speak to Foxy, I'll get their thoughts on it. But ultimately, the team that goes out in the park will be the team that I pick, and the team that I choose, and the team that I think will go and give us a performance that can then go and get us a result.
Do you think the director of football structure might put some managers or head coaches coming here at all?
I don't see why not. Why it would, should I say. It's obviously not a structure that a lot of Scottish clubs adapt. So it's a bit alien to everyone. I knew nothing about it before I came in here myself. So, as I said, the director of football is there to help and support the footballing staff and the coaching staff. Not once have I seen him tell Robbie or tell Ian a team to pick. You know, I remember obviously the big issue up at Aberdeen when I was coming down with information, and everyone's thinking, he's picking the team and he's passed. I actually remember the incident really well. The incident was Adam Rooney pulling on to Christian Nowak, as clever strikers would do. He worked out the centre-back he was getting joy against. Now, with Aberdeen playing one striker up top, we had the opportunity to leave or to switch our centre-backs, and I think you've probably seen me doing that. So that was the information that me and Craig were passing down to Austin to then obviously pass on to Ian, and if he wanted to make a switch on it and he wanted to make the call of switching Tassos and Nowak picking up Rooney, then that was obviously it, because obviously Christian is a lot quicker than Christian is obviously a lot quicker than Tassos. Tassos was probably more aggressive in the air, so it made sense. So that was one of the little bits of information that normally come down from the stand.
You said you want the players to enjoy their football again, play with a smile on their faces. Do you feel to some extent a weight has been lifted off the players' shoulders, maybe your own shoulders this week with Ian's removal?
Not off my own shoulders, no. As I said, I've been working with the 20s, so I've been kind of on the outside looking in, and I've been helping out sort of on a match day. The plan this year was that me and Andy Kirk would rotate games, and the coach that wasn't at the game would go and watch their own players, which we've been doing this year. In terms of the players, that's a question you have to ask them. So I get the feeling that they needed a smile on their face. So that's kind of been where we've obviously done what we've needed to do in preparation for the weekend, and we've worked on the training that we think is going to help the lads, get us a result the weekend and get us focused for that. But obviously the bits that probably aren't relevant to the weekend are being more fun and probably trying to, as I said, get them with a smile on their face.
When would you expect the situation to resolve?
That's a good question. I don't know. And as I've said when I first came in, whether I'm in charge for a week, 2 weeks, a year. I'm happy to be here at the club, and I'm really happy to be working at the club. And you know, one thing's for sure, I'm gonna imagine that Anne and Craig will do their checks on whoever applies for the job, and I wouldn't imagine they'll rush into any decision. And you know, it's up to myself, Foxy, Austin, the players, to make sure we give them the time to make the right decision, because the last thing we need is them making a quick decision or a wrong decision.